Looks like all the cars have fired up and are ready to rumble here. As we talked about, 250 laps the scheduled distance unless we need some overtime. Once we reach the halfway point, the race is official, but I don't think Mother Nature is going to be a problem here tonight. And there will be a break right around the halfway point where these cars will all come down pit lane and receive service from their crews. The most cars we've ever brought here to Sunset Speedway, 21 cars slated to start this one. Young Trayton Lapsevich on the pole with Donald Teege, and a boy Chadell go back alongside. Now, Donald Teege, 3 times older than Trayton Lapsevich in that number 20. But Trayton Lapsevich is almost getting to the point where he's a veteran of multiple seasons of APC late model racing here in Ontario. Plenty of NASCAR Pinty Series races under his belt. He's visited Victory Lane. Older brother Caden Lapsevich was a champion in the series as a teenager, so Trayton Lapsevich has great poise behind the wheel for a young driver. He's going to be fun to watch here today. Man, oh man, they are all going to be fun to watch. This race, aside from Marc-Antoine Cameron, who is our defending series champion, there are 4 former NASCAR Pinty Series champions in this field, and they're pretty much bunched together. The 47 of LB Dumoulin, the 27 of Andrew Ranger, the 17 of DJ Kennington, all starting together, Clinton.
Yeah, so Adam, what's the strategy going to be today? Obviously a long race, some of them are going to ride it out. Anybody going to just go for it off the top? Get to the front, try and do what Tagliani did in the past, try and lead a bunch of laps like Cameron did in the past as well?
I don't think you can do what Alex Tagliani did years ago. There are just too many cars here today and too many competitive cars. But I think this is not a live pit road race. Because it's a halfway break race, you can't gain or lose positions on pit road. So every spot on the racetrack becomes that much more important. There's no way to make up spots through pit strategy. So you have to fight for those positions whenever you can, Clint.
Well, Lapsevich has done what he wanted to do. Lots of tape going on the windows today, Adam. That was the call we got from the pits. You notice a lot of these drivers have put, well, not a lot. I see a few at the front have put some blinders on.
Yeah, a lot of them have not, which is a little surprising, although where the sun goes down here, Clinton, I don't think it's going to be annoying for the drivers. It's actually more annoying for us up here in the tower and the fans looking into the sun, but the drivers, it's only going to affect them halfway between turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, and only for a split second. I mean, we've called races a lot of other speedways where it's in your face the whole way. Not so much here, just a quick blip before they're ready to go.
How'd you like some of the stats we put together?
Not bad, not bad.
I noticed you dug into them.
I was drowning. I thought you were coming back to help me.
No, so all the new faces. Tony Spiteri, the new GM of NASCAR Canada. Doug Gonder, the new series director. Sam Putnam, the new technical director. Everybody's sort of learning. Things are brand new. They did leave a little bit too much time between the anthem and driver start your engines, and that's painful moments.
I thought I killed 7 minutes. I look at Doug, it's 5 more. I'm like, oh my goodness. Making the new guy work.
But beautiful day, just built up a little bit more anticipation, and boy, oh boy, who have you got your eyes on today?
Well, the first thing that catches my eye, under pace, we are almost nose to tail around the Speedway, which shows the cars have come out in full force. Who do I got my eye on? Well, the guy I have my eye on let me down in qualifying. It's the 9 of Brandon Watson. I expect a lot of the 9 here today, and you expect with a new team, you know, a little bit more drive. He's going to be working to get it out there. You know, DJ Kennington and their team know what the 9 can do, and they probably gave Brandon his full effort here tonight. So that's who I got my on, but how can you not look at a guy like Tagliani or Lapsevich? Both have great reasons to be the guy to watch here today.
Trayton Lapsevich, I believe, is going to be the rabbit tonight. He's been fastest all day. He was fastest in qualifying. The question is going to be, who is willing to keep up with him? Because you don't want to push your car too hard. All you want to do is stay on the lead lap. We're going to see shortly as the 1-to-go signal has been given. Coming out of turn number 4, it'll be green flag for the NTN Ultimate Bearing Experience 250. Ladies and gentlemen, 2023 about to get underway off of turn number 4. We are green.
Into one for the first time. Lapsevich will get the advantage, takes it down the back straightaway. On the outside, T's trying to hold strong, gets the nose up on the outer quarter, but it's the 3 knocking on the back door of Alex Gannett.
Man, some of them just sail these cars down into the corner, but Lapsevich with a huge advantage of all the racetrack to himself. He can run right to the bottom in the corner, come up to the wall on exit. Almost nobody else in the field to get back to about 18th place has that luxury, Clint.
Alex Gannett will assume the runner-up position and gets around the 80 of Donald Teague. Here comes Lacroix and Tagliani rolling 4th and 5th. Lacroix on the bottom, Tagliani on the outside, trying to pull up there to the 74's door. And don't look now, here comes young Steckley on the back bumper.
Further back, it is a hornet's nest right around the tail end of the top 10. No surprise, right where DJ Kennington, Larry Jackson, they seem to be calming things down. But as I say that, Kennington looks to the outside of LP Dumoulin in a battle for 9th. Out in front, Trayton Lapsevich enjoys 3 car lengths over Alex Gannett.
Lacroix leads the single car train, but behind him they're double file. Steckley now gets underneath the Tagliani, number 18. And you got Ranger right there trying to fill that gap and push the 18 back another row.
Ranger looking to the inside, Tagliani into the back of one of his teammates, Kyle Steckley in the 22. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense, Clinton, so he's got to make sure he's getting all he can into the corner to keep Andrew Ranger off his back bumper.
Trayton Lapsevich with about a 10 car length advantage off to turn 1, still pulling it out, and you called it, Adam, that he'd be the rabbit here today, and that's definitely the one they are chasing. Father Jeff, the new crew chief for the team, running this machine very well here today.
You know, they know how to put together a program, and that's what they have done. I think Jeff will do a great job executing. Interesting story. Jeff Lapsevich, the crew chief for his son, Trayton Lapsevich. Scott Steckley, the crew chief for his son, Kyle Steckley. Both of those cars out of the same shop, but neat family ties, Clint.
That is a cool story. You know, my kid beat your kid. Well, my dad could beat your dad on the crew box. And, but I'm sure if they could have the type of finishes they've had, I mean, on the Dirt Rush weekend, they were 1-2. And they're door-to-door. Steckley trying to get up underneath the 74 of Lacroix as the 22 moves forward to the front. Limited schedule for Kyle. Got to make the most of it.
What a nice, clean move. He saw the door open. He got to the inside of Lacroix. It'll be hard to clear the 74 machine. Kevin Lacroix looks comfortable up top. You can see Kyle Steckley getting about 2 feet every corner. Picks up another 2 feet. He might be able to clear him here out of turn number 4 as Lacroix lifts and tucks back in behind.
Tagliani now in line, but he's still about a half lane up from the rest of these guys, and they're all trying to put the move down on the inside. Just giving them a bit of a tease that there's a line on the bottom. Lapsevich, Gannett running very well here. We saw him win down at GP Trois Rivières last summer.
And you go back to last season, Marc-Antoine Cameron was the dominant car in that 96. I mean, it was night and day how much faster he was. And here he is, mired deep in the top 10. He looks to the inside of Alex Tagliani, and he backed out of it. He could have forced the issue there.
That was going to be bad for both of them. That was either brakes and grass or all over somebody's backside. And he decided to take the grass instead. No harm, no foul.
You and I both know that, Clinton, but historically, watching these drivers, Marc-Antoine Cameron historically does not back out of many holes. I think that's a big deal, showing some maturity as he's still to the inside of Tagliani, but now Tag giving him some space at the bottom.
I don't think he's giving a full lane, though. Just like a three-quarter tease there. Like, if you really want it, you can put your lefts on the grass and maybe take it. And Tagliani really enticing him there, but chops down into one. Now the gap's open. The left front down in the grass, and it's going to not work out for Cameron just yet.
The trouble is, if you drive too deep, you can't keep the car on the bottom.
Now he clears him off of 4. Not sure what happened there, but Tag gives up the spot, and Marc-Antoine Cameron moves up another position. Lapsevich about 20 car lengths behind the Wallace Stacy 66, who he'll look to start putting down laps as we get into this one.
A little further back, we've got a great battle for the 8th spot. Andrew Ranger holds down the position in the 27. LP Dumoulin in the 47 got to the inside. The car pushed up the racetrack. Andrew Ranger able to win that drag race down to turn number 3. There is one driver in the field who does not mind being hung up on the outside. That is Andrew Ranger. He loves it up there.
Well, probably a little bit easier on the tires, you'd think. And the brakes, letting it roll a little bit farther. And look at LP, he just jammed it up on the inside there. You want it, I want it back, says LP in the WeatherTech Dodge, working to get the position away from the Ranger 27.
LP can get to the center of the corner, he just can't get back to the throttle, so Andrew Ranger is able to keep him pinned down. LP's using up a lot of tires and a lot of brakes right now, and Andrew Ranger probably has a big smile on his face.
DJ Kennington sniffing a shot here on the backside of the Ranger 27. Former teammates will go at it through 3 and 4. Ranger steps the back end out. Kennington smooth and steady. Leader now closing in on his second car to put down a lap. Wallace Stacy's down 1 lap, and now he'll go to work on the Steyrs GSR 0.
Glenn Steyrs has a few laps before Trayton Lapsevich will get to him. Let's see if Steyrs can close in on a couple of Newfoundlanders out there.
Josh Collins and Brandon McFarland working here from the East Coast, and about as far east as you can get on the coast, as we learned that last year. Still just got to log some laps though, Adam. This is a tough series to get into. These are difficult cars to drive, and a lot different than anything they've ever done, as the leader now works his way around the Steyrs 0.
Steyrs going to go a lap down. Further back, we got Kyle Steckley working the inside of Donald Teege. Marc-Antoine Cameron of the 96 working the inside of Kevin Lacroix. Fantastic battles as they approach the slower car of Wallace Stacy.
2 wide, the Newfoundlanders are in front of the leader now. The move over flag, or the hold your position flag, or whatever you want to call it, is being waved. And the 56 car of Josh Collins will heed way. Brandon McFarland says, maybe not, and now he gives it up to the leader.
As they work through slower traffic, Trayton Lapsevich is pulling away from Alex Gannett. He's got 3 slower cars between himself and the second place Gannett. Right now he's got a lot out in front of his windshield. JP Bergeron would be the next car to go a lap down. He's looking to close in on the 98 of Malcolm Strong, the 31 of Daniel Bois.
Back to the leader now. You know, you got to figure Father Jeff's telling him, back it down. You've got 3 lappers between you. Roll it for a little bit. Let's try and save some tires and get this one in. And now you see Gannett trying to work under the Steyrs 0 to the turn number 1. He'll make that move.
And Clint, here's why I think that advice is exactly what Trayton needs to hear. Trayton is not going to catch up to some of the faster cars. He's not going to get into lapping the top 10 like we saw here 6-7 years ago. So that being the case, don't use up your race car. Just put it in cruise control the best you can and turn laps.
Yeah, he may not have a huge number of cars between him and second, but he does have a full straightaway and 1 marker in between. So that gives you a bit of breathing room, let's say, to back it down a little bit and not beat up your stuff.
Malcolm Strong in the curb records number 98 on the inside of Daniel Bois, and Bois had to bite the brakes up off of turn number 4 to avoid getting run into the wall. Behind them, the race leader Trayton Lapsevich closes in. JP Bergeron, the next car to go a lap down.
Bergeron slipped off of 4 there, and that really brought Lapsevich to the back bumper.
Lapsevich will swing to the outside of the number 1 machine and put Bergeron a lap down. Malcolm Strong. Whoa, contact between Strong and Naveau in turn number 4, right in front of our race leader, Trayton Lapsevich. Look at this trio of race cars duking it out for position and not wanting to go a lap down.
Strong down in the grass. Bois now pushing hard on the back bumper. Naveau in the mix as well. Viewers at home are seeing it now as they work on this one. That's the battle right there. Strawn trying to hold off Daniel Baugh, and the leader is the 20 of Lapsevich, who gets underneath the 24 of DeVoe, and will now work on the inside of the Baugh, who gives lots of room to the leader.
Daniel Baugh is a veteran racer. He doesn't want to affect the leader whatsoever, but now I'll bet you'll see him race pretty hard with Naveau to stay in the free pass position.
Yeah, I think it's no secret Daniel Baugh is trying to learn how to go left exclusively, the road course ace, and spends his day job as a driving coach at CTMP, which is the former Mosport, if you're from the U.S.
Well, he was a TQ Can-Am midget racer. Daniel Baugh was an oval racer at a time, but he just excelled road racing, and that's sort of the direction he went.
So as much as they're looking for good finishes, you got to think they're trying to survive here and put the hurt on when they go right and left.
Yeah, and it's a growing team, so they want to keep the car in one piece, keep it clean, start to build their notebook.
A long way to go in this race. We are 40 laps in of a 250 lap, what we call break race. That means on or around lap 125, they'll throw a competition yellow and give everybody a chance to do the work. A bit of cost savings here with this series, Adam. No need for professional pit crews. Will help you get it done.
Boy, you know what I'm realizing, Clinton? Trayton Lapsevich is on the same straightaway as the top 10. So maybe he can lap into the top 10 as he works his way through traffic here. He's closing in on the back of Andrew Ranger. Ranger runs in the 13th spot in that number 27.
So you're saying there's a chance it could be a Tagliani type day here where he put a hurting on them.
The difference between today and Tagliani is the halfway break.
Good point. So that will at least restack the deck a little bit.
Yeah.
Give a lucky dog here or there.
Give one person the lap back, but more importantly, stacks up the deck.
Viewers at home right now watching the battle with Kevin Lacroix on the outside of Alex Tagliani. They work it back here around these turns, getting tight onto the back straightaway. That's a good door-to-door battle. Tagliani's holding position number 7, Lacroix with 6 right ahead of him, and LP Dumoulin running in 8th just behind the rear quarter there of the NTN 18 of Tagliani.
LP Dumoulin has actually been able to make up some ground from his starting position. One driver who has not made up that ground, Brandon Watson in the number 9.
I think I jinxed him today. Could I be the first announcer jinx of the year?
If you believe in that sort of thing, then absolutely that's what it is.
Oh no, Brandon doesn't like talking to us as it is half the time, so now he's really not going to give us the time of day. And not because he's a bad dude, just quiet. Does his talking on the Speedway.
Trayton Lapsevich just lapped Dexter Stacy in the 12th position, and the next car to get put a lap down is indeed Brandon Watson in the number 9. He just got passed by DJ Kennington in the 17.
Ooh, Trayton down in the grass there. A big back end wiggle out of the 20 car as he tries to work around. The 9 of Watson works to the inside. Watson lets him go.
Didn't have much of a choice there. Trayton is just so fast in that 20 machine. Puts him in his rear view mirror, and that will set his sights on DJ Kennington in that number 17.
Kennington in the 10th position. Can Lapsevich get up and make it work to put everybody, and even one in the top 10, down a lap? He is right there, Adam.
And we're only 51 laps into this race, Clinton, so we're not even a quarter of a way through. We're not even halfway to the halfway break.
So when he had just lapped 1 or 2 cars, we're like, yeah, ride it. Now he's just go for it, right? If you're Dad Jeff, what are you telling him here, Adam? Go, let's put them all down a lap.
Well, you don't want him to overuse the car, but watching what he's doing, he hasn't put a wheel wrong yet. You can still read the general tire on both sides of the car, so he hasn't rubbed up against anybody. He's just doing a good job out there.
Car set up to perfection. When, if you weren't with us here at the Speedway, before he rolled up for qualifying, the crew was under the hood. Younger brother Ryden was talking about throwing wrenches across the Speedway because the infield was secure and nobody could get what they needed, but came out, laid down fast time, and checking the boxes so far.
Just heard a strange engine noise down the front straightaway, and we've got a great battle out there. Donald Teach, Kyle Steckley, Kevin Lacroix in the 74, the 18 of Alice Tagliani, 47 of LP Dumoulin, all on the lead lap.
Now, Lapsevich working on the Steyr zero again, had to really get on the brakes going into one. And on the screen, we're seeing Steckley and Teach go door to door. That's the battle for fourth right now. Steckley has it. Teach trying to come back around the outside.
And Steckley used as much racetrack as he could last time out of turn number 4. Just left Teach enough.
Work on the same type of trajectory again. And Steckley will hold on to position 4. Teach not able to take it away yet.
And now Teach will have to worry about the always aggressive. The 3 drivers behind him are 3 of the most aggressive racers in our series. Kevin Lacroix in the 74, the 18 of Atlas Tagliani, and the 47 of LP Dumoulin.
Lapsevich in turn number 3. Big lead there. We get a look at the second place car. Alex Gannett in the third. Sorry, number 3, 96 of Marc-Antoine Cameron behind him. And then Ranger's in the mix, but Ranger way down the running order, back in 14th right now. Not the day they wanted, obviously.
No, but every point matters. It's a 14-race championship, and with this many competitive cars, you've got no giveaway. So if you've got a 10th place car, Clinton, you better make sure you finish 10th at the very worst. You can't finish 13th. You've got to take advantage of what your car has to give.
That's some great advice. And you can't make it do more than it can do either. You could also find yourself in a pickle that way.
I'll tell you, a driver trying to make their car do more than it wants to do. LP Dumoulin in that WeatherTech 47 keeps looking to the inside, and he can get all the way to the center of the corner. Then the car starts to come up off the bottom of the racetrack, but it's not, it is slowing him down, but it's not preventing him from trying to make those moves anyhow.
He gets Tagliani pinned up on the outside, trying to put that WeatherTech Dodge on through. Moving him up into position number 7 if he can take the spot away. The leader once again scrubbing down through the grass.
Oh, yellow is out. Yellow is out. And I believe it might be a debris caution. Something. What is that in turn 3, right under the Rock 95? Piece of aluminum, we believe, out on the racetrack. You see it there, Clinton, in turn 3, just
a little glimmer.
It is just in front of the beer garden, so. Tell you what little piece of aluminum I like in turn 4 here at Sunset Speedway.
I guarantee nobody over there is throwing that aluminum out onto the Speedway.
Nope, nope.
Let's take a run down through the order, Adam.
Great idea. Race leader, and he's led from the drop of the green flag. Trayton Lapsevich in the 20. The 3 is Alex Gannett. 96, Marc-Antoine Cameron. 22, Kyle Steckley. And the 80 of Donald Teach rounds out the top 5. Kevin Lacroix is 6th in the 74. Then it's the 18 of Alex Tagliani. The 47 of LP Dumoulin. Unofficially, Larry Jackson should get the free pass in the number 84. He will be the last car on the lead lap, running in 9th. Then we got DJ Kennington rounding out the top 10 in the 17. 11th on back, the 92, Dexter Stacy. The 9, Brandon Watson. The 98, Malcolm Strawn. The 27, Andrew Ranger. JP Bergeron in the 1. And Daniel Bois in the 31 runs 16th. Brandon McFarlane is 17th in the 23. Thomas Naveau is 18th in the 24. All of those cars are 1 lap down, I believe, Clinton, and then 2 laps down is Josh Collins in the 56, the 0 of Glenn Stiers, and the 66 of Wallace Stacy. For those of you watching our stream, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back from Sunset Speedway.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the NASCAR Pinty Series here at Sunset Speedway in Innisfil, Ontario. As I mentioned earlier, about 45 minutes north up the 400 highway to Innisfil from Toronto. Beautiful picture day weather here, and we are ready to go. What a race it's been so far. We are 180 laps to go of a 250 lap race. The math tells me that's 70 down. We've got 2 cars on pit road.
Yeah, no surprise at all. I believe we saw Andrew Ranger down in the pits, Tom Naveau, JP Bergeron, Brandon Watson. Clinton, would you be surprised to know that Trayton Lapcevich has not run the fastest lap of the race so far?
Yeah, I would.
Alex Gannett in the number 3 on lap 4, just by 100th of a second, but his lap was faster than Trayton's fastest lap.
Well, Trayton's on cruise mode right now, running very well. You got to figure Gannett is in chase mode, so he's going to be up on as best he can. Larry Jackson is not the leader. As Adam mentioned, Larry Jackson will be the free pass driver here. Will get to come around the pace car and take a lap back, put himself back on the lead lap.
Larry Jackson has finished on the podium here at Sunset Speedway. This was the place of his best career finish. We saw a very emotional Larry Jackson that day.
Well, you can bet he'd love to be up there following that McMaster pace truck when it counts, not right now as the lucky dog.
Did you hear one of those cars just try to clear their engine?
I did.
And it did not clear. That might be Brandon Watson in the 9. I'm not sure. Now, Brandon Watson's car is being prepared out of the DJ Kennington stables. Both of those cars are similar in speeds, you know, deep in the top 10 kind of speeds, or just outside the top 10. You don't have to be off by very much in this series because there's so many competitive cars.
And the laps go by so fast, being such a tight little speedway here. So, Lapcevich with the lead, trying to get the 18 of Tagliani in the proper position.
And so for those of you who might not be familiar, the way it works with NASCAR, the race director is Rob Sharp. And he speaks over a one-way radio communication that all of the team spotters pick up. So the drivers don't hear Rob Sharp, the race official. They hear their spotters, but it is the spotter's job to hear what direction is being given and make sure that their driver follows that direction. 1 to go. Trayton Lapcevich going to restart on the bottom. On the outside, it'll be Alex Gannett in the 3 machine. As we look back through this running order, Larry Jackson is the only driver in the top 10 without a career victory in the NASCAR Pinty Series.
And here we go. That was a bit ragged at the back. No one was in the proper lineup, and away we go. Oh, problems in the 1. Stiers gets turned around. Not sure who helped him out there.
JP Bergeron was involved. Thomas Naveau was involved. I wouldn't mind. I don't know if
Stiers with the nose tore off the 0 car. That is going to be a tough break for Glenn here.
Driver who comes into the season with a ton of optimism. You know, and I think it's fair for us to talk about it. Glenn Stiers is a Canadian Motorsport Hall of Fame competitor in a sprint car. He has also suffered head injuries during his career. He has had post-concussion syndrome over the years. It's been about 5 years he's been on the mend from some bad concussions, and he's finally, he says he's feeling as good as he ever felt, but it's been a journey to get to this point.
Yeah, suffered a lot of vertigo. Said just nauseous. Even bright light is something that affected him, and when his concussion symptoms were at their heaviest. They're going to try and bolt that nose up at him and tape it up as best they can, but a lot is dragging there. It's going to take a lot of handyman's best friend to get it done.
One of the best parts about the NASCAR Pinty Series, Clinton, fiberglass bodies. There's really not much aerodynamic. In fact, we have seen losing the nose of a race car becomes an advantage because the brakes stay a lot cooler and the rubber stays a lot cooler.
Right here we saw that.
Yep. It was Connor James lost the front end of his race car and then came back to score a top 3 finish, I believe.
We hear Todd Lewis is down in the pits, Todd. You can feel free to jump in any time if you want to join us here. I know you're busy working for the TV crew, but we'd love to hear from you. So there, our viewers at home seeing them will go to work taping up the nose of the GSR 0 for Glenn Stiers. Owner and proprietor of Ohsweken Speedway on the dirt, races on Friday nights and host to 2 NASCAR Pinty Series events on the dirt. And that'll be August 14th and 15th, the Monday, Tuesday. And Ohsweken opens next Friday.
Does so, Clinton. A very busy long weekend. Ohsweken on Friday. Canadian Tire Motorsport Park Saturday and Sunday. But of course, you want to be right here at Sunset Speedway for the APC season opener. And it's the first of NTN Bearing's big events, 150 laps. It'll be the longest race that the APC series has ever run. You don't want to miss it, folks.
Still under yellow conditions here and a great view as the White Motorsports teammates of Stiers and Ranger, the crews working to really just, well, what can you say? Bubble gum it up together as best they can.
Bear bond and duct tape.
Yeah.
It'll hold the world together. Big break for DJ Kennington.
Very important. I don't know when you can do this.
We can do it right now, Sandra. Sandra Todd is coming up. We've got a vehicle parked in the fire route. We need you to move your vehicle or we are going to move it for you. It is a Cadillac SUV, gray in color, license plate CAPY 828. Please move your vehicle.
Just in case they don't move, we got it announced again.
So DJ Kennington, the Castrol Edge 17, gets the free pass. Yellows breed yellows, Clint.
Yes, they do.
One of the age-old sayings in motorsports, but absolutely true. Cautions breed cautions, and with every yellow flag, we have somebody new who gets the free pass.
So DJ Kennington will be the recipient this time. He'll get to move around when the white flag comes out and tag the tail end of the field.
That'll put 10 cars back onto the lead lap. 10 cars on the lead lap, and then all the way back to 17th, 1 lap down. And then we got Wallace Stacy, Josh Collins, Thomas Naveau, and Glenn Stiers, multiple laps down. The complexion of these races changes so much as we go through these yellow flags. People get back on the lead lap, and some of them able to come down pit road, make adjustments on these race cars, and try to improve their fortunes.
Once the lap's good, they'll be told to double up. They will release the free pass car, which will be DJ Kennington, to pass the pace truck and move back around to the tail end of the position, and we're not there just yet.
We do not use the choose rule here in the NASCAR Pinty Series. So they line up. Leader does have lane choice inside or outside, but otherwise you line up where you're supposed to go.
And it's only the front row.
It's only the front row that has the lane choice.
Because in some series, if the leader chooses even, everybody's an even then.
It's interesting to me too, Clinton, that we haven't gone to that rule, because there have been times when we got rules before the big series did. We ran double file restarts right from the start in 2007. If you remember, it was a big deal when the NASCAR Cup Series went to it in shootout style double file restarts, but it was our way of doing business from the very start.
Exciting business it is.
We'll go 1 to go next time by. There is 86 laps complete. So we're about 40 laps from the midway break. That's enough time for Trayton Lapcevich to lap the rest of the field, stop for a hot dog, and have a soda.
Are we betting hot dogs or bananas this year since you're on a big health kick? You want to bet a hot dog on that?
Trayton can afford to eat some hot dogs. I better stick with bananas. He'll be on the inside. Alex Gannett up on the high side. Marc-Antoine Camerant with Kyle Steckley alongside him. So exciting to see that inter-province rivalry. We got some Ontario, we got some Quebec. They're all battling for position out there.
Really slow start for the leaders. He tromps on the gas and tries to drive away from Cadet. Cadet all over the back bumper of the 20. Gets them twisted up a little bit, but they gather it up.
I was watching deep in the field. That last restart got hairy further back in the field, but they seem to have things sorted out for this one. Lapsevich out in front. Cameron able to pick up the second position. Gannett back to third. Kyle Steckley fourth, and he's got Kevin Lacroix looking for racing room on the outside in that fifth position.
Well, Cameron was the dominant car last year. Could he come up and bring the youngster back into school as they work it off of 4? Back of the pack, everybody trying to find their way through Adam, but up at the front, they're starting to stretch it out already.
Let's remember last season, Marc-Antoine Cameron and Trayton Lapsevich had a few situations. Newfoundland for one, they got a little bit ugly down there racing together for position. So these two drivers have some history. Let's see what happens if they get closer on the racetrack.
Lapsevich able to stretch out to about 5 and a bit. Car length lead on the Cameron 96. We watch as it's Tige and Dumoulin there battling side by side. Tige holds number 6 position here in the 80 on the outside. It's the 47 of LP Dumoulin. Tagliani right behind them as they're double file.
It's so comfortable here. Sunset Speedway is so wide. You almost always have two wide racing, and it's hard to get that advantage. You have to be much faster than the car beside you to finish a pass.
Yeah, a great speedway for equal lanes. You know, the top is almost just as good as the bottom is, no matter what type of cars we see race here, and you still see the leaders scrubbing up off the grass. Does that make you nervous at all, Adam?
Well, not for the leaders, it's fine for them, but for everyone behind them when they bring dirt across the racetrack, it's a huge deal with these wide, slick General tires. When you kick loose dirt up onto the track, they just don't grip to it at all.
I'm worried about little debris down there. You know, you can sweep the track, but the grass doesn't get swept, so you keep sticking your tire down there, you're asking for a puncture.
And they're still running side by side. Kevin Lacroix at the high side. LP Dumoulin down low in the 47. Alex Tagliani right behind them. Donald Tige just sort of hanging out there in the number 80. Remember, he qualified second fastest. He's fallen back deep into the top 10 and right now just turning some laps out there.
Kevin Lacroix still trying to hold off the LP Dumoulin 47 behind them. It's Tagliani and Donald Tige right there, all under a blanket, the 4 of them. From Quebec, going at it.
There is a lot of Quebec talent in this series. Awesome for us to see drivers like Trayton Lapsevich, Brandon Watson, some young Ontario talent to come and join the likes of DJ Kennington in the 17.
Well, to be a true national series, we need drivers from all over. We head out west, we get Chantel Kalika and some of the other joining us. You know, you got Josh Collins and Brandon McFarlane here from the Newfoundland Labrador province. So we're getting there.
Absolutely. It's an exciting season to be a NASCAR fan. Some great teams bringing some great drivers and great equipment to the racetrack. Trayton Lapsevich opening that advantage. He's got a second lead over Marc-Antoine Cameron.
2 laps past the halfway point, 148 laps to go. We're about 23 laps from the break.
We're almost to the halfway point.
Oh, yes, sorry.
We're 2 laps past the century mark. I was going to let you get
No,
to it.
you got to fix it, man. You got to fix it, especially first race. Bring me up to speed.
I had my fingers out trying to work the math like this. The math is not mathing.
I couldn't tell what you were trying to tell me.
You're number 1.
You got to use more fingers to count.
Yeah. So Donald Tige starting to smoke again, and it's tire smoke. He gets on the brakes, and I don't know if the fender rubs the tire or if he's locking up a brake out there in the number 80, but I will tell you something else, Clinton, and you were down trackside before the race, but I smell transmission fluid, rear end grease.
Yep.
And you should not be able to smell that as the cars are warming up, but it hasn't put anybody out of this one.
It's a very distinctive smell, that type of burnt grease. It's just that scent you can't quite get off your hands.
Oh, it's brutal when you get it. And Some people like it. Some people like it's polarizing. I like the smell. I don't know why. It's
See, some people like the smell of burning rubber too, and I can't deal with that. I'm a fan of burnt rubber.
no, burnt rubber I'm not a fan of. Gasoline, however, all day long. Well, not all day long.
Is that how you ended up here in the booth with me?
Pretty much. Kevin Lacroix way up on the outside in that blue and white Napa 74. LP Dumoulin's been alongside of him since the race restarted.
Yeah, Lacroix's got to be like, buddy, give me a break. You know, just pass or get there or do something. It's so tough. You think of what it does for your concentration. You know, you can't run your lines. You got to be looking out the mirrors. You listen to the spotter, making sure you're not doing anything silly to take you both out.
Yeah, but they're learning about their race cars every time. LP Dumoulin inching forward, finally clears the 74 of Lacroix. Let's see if that WeatherTech 47 can pull away from the 74 machine now that he is completely clear.
Josh Collins nearly got the leader off of turn 4, was all out of shape. Trayton Lapsevich got by. Now the 56 of Collins up on the top side. Naveau trying to get through. Cameron, the second place car. Double file in front of a blocking. Can't get through.
No, the way is blocked right now for Cameron. He looked like he wanted to make it 3 wide off of turn number 2, thought better of it, and Trayton Lapsevich is just pulling away every lap. Half a second a lap, Trayton Lapsevich is pulling away while Cameron is stuck behind this duo.
Some great looks at the speed shot here on the front straightaway as these cars whistling by the flag stand. We're 1:36 to go.
That was good math.
I'm trying.
I feel like positive reinforcement. If I'm going to tell you when it's bad, I got to tell you when it's good.
Collins on the inside trying to keep that 56 pin down low.
Brandon Watson in the 9 battling with DJ Kennington in the 17. That's not a battle for position. They're on different laps, but 2 cars coming out of the same stable running very similar speeds out there as Trayton Lapsevich dips to the inside of Watson. Now he'll set his sights on the veteran DJ Kennington.
I don't think Watson's going to be too pleased how the things are running so far, but the break may give them a chance. Adam, have you seen anybody make a major swing on a break who wasn't running good, who now came back to be a lot better?
Seems to me Andrew Ranger has been able to do that at times during a break. Just find speed that wasn't there. Wow, Thomas Naveau got wicked sideways down into turn 3.
Josh Collins working on the outside in the number 56 cars. They all skid down there on the bottom rumble strips in the bottom of turn 1. Ranger now trying to hold back the leader of Lapsevich.
Wow. Kevin Lacroix, I mean, he's running a line in turn 3. You would think he's stopping for a drink. He's so high in 3 and 4. Down and look at that, like he's up there on purpose.
Who knows how the mind of Don Thompson Jr. works?
I do. He likes the shortest distance around the racetrack because that's the fastest.
Yeah, but if it's not your day, you've got to try different things. So Lacroix was in around the top 5, find himself back in 6th position right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's still in a good spot. There's a driver who can still come in, get some work done at the halfway point. We are very close to that time. 123 laps complete next time by for Trayton Lapsevich as Alex Tagliani just about makes contact with Glenn Stiers off of turn 4.
It's 128, 127, subtract 2. We're almost there. Getting there. Lapsevich the leader, Cameron second, Alex Gannett in third. Steckley quietly still hanging on to fourth, Adam. Haven't said too much about the 22 and 100 in a few laps.
Doing a great job. Doing a great job as Trayton Lapsevich puts Bergeron another lap down. The next car on the lead lap ahead is Larry Jackson. So 3 cars between himself and Trayton Lapsevich and this halfway point. The break will come at any time now, Clint.
Larry Jackson running in 9th position. I think that's where he was when he got lapped the first time. Fought back through the Lucky Dog free pass program and works his way now to try and hold off. But as you mentioned, few cars between himself and the leader, and he should be able to make it to the break and stay on the lead lap.
the reason they don't put the brake exactly at the halfway point, they don't want positions to change. They don't want to affect the running order of the race, so if there's battles, they'll let the battles play out. Yellow flag has been called. This will be the break because there were no positions changing, Clint. So as we go to yellow, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll give you the field rundown as we get set for the halfway break, and we'll reset things for the exciting finish of the NTN Ultimate Bearing Experience 250. So this time, we are going to see the cars head down pit lane. All the cars will head down. No work will begin until the final car stops in their pit stall. And then it'll be time to fuel the cars and put tires, and there's specific rules for these halftime breaks, the order that the work can go in, when they're allowed to start, Clinton. It is an orchestrated stop because when they come out, they're all going to be put back into the same order they were in when the yellow flag flew.
Viewers at home getting a view from the leader's pit stall where Trayton Lapsevich crew puts tires up on the wall and gets ready to go. We've got NASCAR officials up and down pit road here monitoring the team's activities and making sure nobody's jumping in too soon before they're ready to go. And a great look at Jeff Lapsevich there, the mind behind Trayton, working on it here, trying to figure out what they can do to just keep making this car better, but I don't think they need to do anything. What are you pointing at, Adam?
We do have some crews over the wall prematurely. NASCAR officials getting out there saying, no, you wait for the cue. Because traditionally on a short track, car gets in the pit stall, you go to work on it. But with these halftime break rules, DJ Kennington now has gotten to his pit stall.
5-minute clock is starting.
Everybody has stopped. 5-minute clock has begun. Now they'll all come out and fuel the cars. Then they'll put the tires on. And then whatever adjustments, really, Clinton, they can make within that 5-minute window.
Good view for the viewers at home as they watch down there, everybody getting fueled up. And now they get ready to work on the 20 of Lapsevich, the leader, who's just been so fast here tonight so far.
Am I crazy, or did not everyone put fuel in their cars?
You are crazy. I can't confirm whether they did or not.
I'm looking at LP Dumoulin's 47, the 27 of Andrew Ranger. It looked like they were out there with tires pretty quick. So if they did put fuel in, they certainly didn't put a full can in. Because that's a huge effect on your handling, Clinton. Like when a full load of fuel, say you put 20 gallons of fuel, I believe a gallon of fuel is about 7 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. So
I was going to say about that.
You're putting 150 pounds at the back end of the race car. It makes a huge difference in the handling. So when you can put on fresh rubber and not put that extra weight on the back of the car, you take that into account when you're trying to set things up.
But you've got to make 250 laps on fuel. That's the concern.
Plus overtime.
Yeah, how many teams, not here only, but in all of NASCAR, have we seen great runs fade away because they didn't calculate for NASCAR overtime?
Well, you roll the dice. It's a risk that you take. Everything is a calculated risk, Clinton. Every adjustment that you make, because every time you do something to make your car better, something else has to get worse. So if you're going to make a wedge adjustment to make the car turn better,
That was awfully philosophical for you. I was impressed by that.
You nailed that, didn't you? That is impressive. But
What other gems of Rossi and wisdom do you have for us
well,
tonight?
think about it. If you wanted the engine to make as much power and go as fast as it could, you'd set up the gearing as such. But you still got to make a turn at the end of the straightaway.
Very
right?
true.
So that's
Sun will be ducking down here, Adam, behind the trees before too long. Gonna cool things off here. Still springtime here in Ontario, so it will get chillier here tonight. How's that going to affect this? Is that going to change the list of comers and goers we've got on our clipboards already?
I really don't know. I don't think it's going to have a big effect. I think the good cars are going to remain good cars. If anything, it's going to make it a little bit more comfortable for these drivers as things cool off a bit, but not much. I mean, those cars are hot, and there is no hotter time for a race car driver than right now when the engine is shut off, so that means any cooling that you've got in the car is not running. So as they sit there getting work done to the race cars, they're just boiling in there like potatoes at the moment.
Joel Robinson, our producer for the TSN crew, just sent me an interesting stat. He said if Trayton leads 183 laps today, he'll tie Caton's laps led in the NPS with fewer starts too.
And Trayton's been very impressive. I mean, the one thing that he hasn't done that Caton did was win that championship as a rookie, but Trayton is a very poised driver.
The 2021 Rookie of the Year. I was shocked, Adam, when I was doing my research for this to realize he only won one last year. It seemed like he'd been out here dominating these races for the past couple seasons.
I'm shocked that you did research.
Me too.
No, you have to.
Well, you leave me hanging for 7 minutes down there. I have to have some research.
You really thought I would climb back up these stairs to come in? I like you, but
You're
not
on
that
a health
much.
kick.
Yeah, true. I went to the gym this morning. I got my 5K in this morning. Now, you probably got 10K running around getting things set up.
So you went to the gym, but you brought me a burger. I appreciate that.
Yep. I'm a team player. Last minute on this 5-minute break, and then they're going to call the cars out, Clinton, in this order. Race leader Trayton Lapsevich in the 20, the 96, Marc-Antoine Camberan, the 3, Alex Gannett, 22, Kyle Steckley, 47, LP Dumoulin. 74, Kevin Lacroix, 18, Alex Tagliani, 80, Donald Teague, 84, Larry Jackson, 17, DJ Kennington. Now, we saw DJ Kennington get lapped, so I think they've already manually given him his lap back here. So 10 cars on the lead lap. 11th and 12th are the only 2 cars 1 lap down. Dexter Stacy in the 92, Malcolm Strawn in the 98. 2 laps down, running 13th is JP Bergeron, the 31, Daniel Bois, the 23, Brandon McFarland, 27, Andrew Ranger in the 9, Brandon Watson. They are all 2 laps down to the leader. 3 laps down, Thomas Naveau in the 24, Josh Collins in the 56, and the 66 of Wallace Stacy. 7 laps down in the 21st position, the 0 of Glenn Stiers. So you can see cars trying to get position. Trayton Lapsevich going to wiggle his way out of his pit stall to head back onto the racetrack. He'll meet up with the pace truck down in turn number 3.
Shouldn't take too long to get them lined up, and we'll get ready to roll here.
Kyle Steckley's car, they had a hard time getting it started. Look at Fritz down there. If you don't know Fritz, he is the one on the passenger side of Tagliani's number 18. He's just walking around to the back end now. Like, hey, where'd everybody go? We're going to push this thing. He's the one whose face you see in the NASCAR Pinty Series promo.
Jumping into the camera, right?
Oh, what positive energy personified.
What a great job the Fuel Media crew does with those promos. Nothing gets me more excited to go racing than when we see those come on the Cup Series.
You know,
I just got to imagine Todd Lewis has the microphone, so we'll see if he can jump in with us. This is something new we're going to try on the stream today. But his first priority is the TSN broadcast that will air next Sunday. So if you want to watch this race on TSN, catch it before the Cup race next Sunday, May 21st.
Yeah, I think it's right before the All-Star race, if I'm not mistaken. So some Sunset Speedway and then some North Wilkesboro.
Guys, I did find you finally. So, yes, how are you? Nice to talk to you. Sorry it's taken so long, but I'll give you a couple of quick pit updates after those stops. The 20 car, as you can imagine, they didn't want to make any changes. They were pretty happy with that since he lapped all the way up to 9th place before the break. So they were in very good shape. But the one area of concern that Trayton told me about earlier today was they wanted to make sure they were good with that right rear for the distance. The 3 car, a little adjustment, Panhard bar adjustment, and Alex Gannett was looking for some water, some handling adjustments on the 96 car as well. But Marc-Antoine Cameron with a very strong piece, currently running second. And I'll tell you as well, the 47 of LP Dumoulin, they made some small adjustments, but they think they are very good on the long runs, so something to watch for in the second half of the race.
Good job, Todd. Todd Lewis, working pit road for the TSN broadcast, joining us here on the stream today. We really appreciate it, Todd. It took till the break till we got to hear from Todd, but I need a break from all that information he just gave us. He got to send us some Coles notes up here. There was so much information there. We appreciate that. Always good to hear from Todd.
Yeah, how cool is that? It's all those little things that get added in. You know, the fan experience has changed so much over the years, Clinton. We just have access to a ton of information.
We're super proud to be able to bring you this stream. For anybody who couldn't make it here today, as a big fan of the NASCAR Pinty series, we appreciate you tuning in, and we appreciate even more all the fantastic fans that came out to support Sunset Speedway and the NASCAR Pinty Series kickoff for 2023. It's the NTN Bearings Ultimate Bearing Experience 250.
250 laps to kick things off, and then they're right out to the road course next weekend.
Just a quick mention, today's NTN Ultimate Bearing Experience 250 is brought to you by NTN Bearing Corporation of Canada, a world leader in the roller bearing industry. Offering a full line of premium wheel hubs, bearings, and seals, delivering the ultimate bearing experience, we're proud to deliver you the NTN Bearings Ultimate Bearing Experience 250 here from Sunset.
Something to make note of, 1 to go, and we're going to go back to green, but they're going green on fresh rubber, so this is going to be a handful for these drivers for a lap or two, Clinton. These tires, they've got to build up temperature, get up to the running pressure that they want them at. So these things are going to be a handful. Trayton Lapcevich in the lead. Marc-Antoine Cameron second. We're back underway.
Onto the back straightaway, the 20 car will lead them. Alex Gannett trying to pull back into that runner-up position underneath the Marc-Antoine Cameron 96. But Adam, the other thing, we have a backstretch that's all shady, a bit on the front stretch that's sunny. Different portions of the track are going to do different things with these cold tires.
It'll be a lot different. Like turn 2 is going to be different from turn 4 because, like you say, the sunshine on the racetrack. And boy, oh boy, Kyle Steckley just got used up by LP Dumoulin in the 47. Steckley up on the high side. Trouble for the 23 of Josh Collins. He locked him up. There might be some debris on the racetrack under the Rock 95 sign down there in 1 and 2.
There definitely is some debris down there. We can't see what it is from here, but there is something on the speedway down there in turn 1.
So Kyle Steckley got roughed up a little bit on that restart. He's got to
look at the Ranger nose here. Adam, what's going on the hood? He got into somebody in the Ranger 27 hood, all tore up.
He got way underneath somebody in that 27 machine, and yellow flag is coming out.
Betting Man says it was the Jackson 84 as the rear cover hanging off of his car. So if I had to be a betting man, I would think that the 27 got electrocuted by the O'Neill 88 here of Larry Jackson.
Is that, it's going to start already?
I have to start.
Yeah. No, I'm all about puns. So Larry Jackson in the 84, no big deal. He's running in the 9th spot. Only DJ Kennington is on the lead lap behind him, so he's going to come into the pits when pit road opens and have to...
if you're Larry Jackson, you're hoping it just falls off.
It's not going to. I mean, have a look at it as he goes by. That piece is firmly attached by the O'Neill decal. That vinyl's tough.
Yeah, it is. Try and peel it off a car.
Yeah, it's not going to. Kyle Steckley in the 22 comes down pit road. He might think he's got a left side tire going down as we look at the replay there.
So, yeah, it was into turn one. Jackson slowed up, and Ranger did not, or at least as much. Kyle Steckley on pit road here in the 22 car. I got to wonder, Adam, they're working on the left side. That's where he got hip checked by the Dumoulin machine. The 27 on pit road, as is the 0 car. So the White Motorsports crew still trying to work on 2 cars now as the 0 car on pit road. Jackson pulls away, and now Daniel Bois making a chassis adjustment on the right rear.
And jack stands are coming out for the 22 as Kyle Steckley. He has lost laps as Daniel Bois just going to beat the pace truck out of there. And that's when the spotters got to get on the radio and say, okay, pick it up just a little bit. You got the sharp turn in 1 and 2 to your advantage.
If I had to guess, Adam, Axle maybe on the 22?
Yeah, you could be right.
You know, you got your drive axle flange over there.
So Larry Jackson going to come back down pit road. They'll make a chassis adjustment in the left rear and send the O'Neill Electric eBay Motors 84 back onto the racetrack.
Well, you know, we talked about how tough that vinyl is, but I'd put a Howie Scannell size 13 boot up against vinyl any day of the week.
Dexter Stacy in the Recap Energy Drink 92 going to get back onto the lead lap. Howie Scannell's been around the sun a couple of times. He knows how to get it done. So Dexter Stacy will be back on the lead lap, and then Malcolm Strawn will be the only driver 1 lap down.
0 car, multiple laps down. Steckley going multiple laps down now as they sit on pit road. And I'm thinking you're going to see the 0 car back out if you can get out. He's just trying to log as many laps as he can. So as where a veteran may have called it a day, I think you may see the 0 back out there. Good look at the 22 from our stream team as they work on it here. And they are, Adam, on that left rear of the 22.
Well, and the thing is, even though Kyle Steckley is not running for points, he's got sponsors here. APC is here. You know, you got Pennzoil on the race car, so you got to get out there and run all the laps that you can.
Seen Luke Ramsey here too, so.
Heartbreak for that young driver, though. He had a competitive car out there.
Is it bad that I don't feel bad for Kyle because he's going to win a ton? Like, this isn't his one shot. He's gonna win a million races in his career.
And that's very fair. That's very fair. It's not like this is.
He ain't gonna accept my comment today, but we'll be over it by next week, you know.
Todd Lewis on the hustle down there too, the 22 pit of Kyle Steckley. So he will have his work to do, as you've mentioned a couple of times for TSN.
And Todd's the veteran. Right to Scott. Jump in there, Todd, if you got something.
Yeah, I just checked with Scott, and he said it is a battery that they're replacing on the 22 car. So they look like they've pretty much got that done. They're going to get the left rear tire back on and then send Kyle back out. As you mentioned, they want to complete as many laps as possible. Give you a quick update on the 84 as well. Larry Jackson, the bodywork damage, it's done. And the 27 of Andrew Ranger, same thing as well. The bodywork damage, they also made a handling adjustment while he was along pit lane.
Appreciate it, Todd. Awesome work down there. We can speculate all we want from the left side, but it's great to have Todd right there and tell us. So, Adam, do you think the battery was affected by the contact or just coincidence?
No, I think it's coincidence because they had to push the car off right after the break as well. So that problem was before the contact. But I've always wondered, why don't they run an alternator? If they do run an alternator, why don't they run a strong enough alternator, even in the Cup Series?
Let's turn time back about 27 minutes when you said if you want something, you got to give something up. So to get an alternator, you got to give up a couple horsepower.
But the thing is, nobody uses all the horsepower. On a super speedway, you do. At Sunset Speedway, you don't. It's not a big...
See, I would, and I mean, we're announcers, right? But in my opinion, I think I'd rather have a fully charged car making as much power as it can and give up 1 or 2 horsepower to ensure the car's always going to run, always going to start. This is something I followed my dad. We had it modified. He thought the alternator was going to rob a bit of power, so we had to charge the thing every week. What a pain. Just put an alternator on it for 2 horsepower already.
Yeah, but again, like you say, we're just announcers.
That's a good question. We have to ask Scott Steckley, why not an alternator on these cars? So in case you don't know what an alternator is, your battery provides power. Your alternator spins mechanically and will provide juice even if your battery's dead.
Yeah, you've got serpentine belts in your engine. If you pop the hood on your car, there's belts that run the alternator, the power steering pump.
I'm trying to make it easy for them. You're talking about snakes under the
They're
hood.
belts. It's going to be a long season.
Yeah, Todd Lewis is down there going, oh my goodness, they let those guys up in the booth. He has to listen to us today. Here we go. Mike Chare's got the green up in the air and ready to flail it. We are on it. And Lapsevich is in it on the bottom of turn number 1. But here comes Gannett trying to keep him honest.
And really what Gannett wants to do is maintain that second place, but Marc-Antoine Cameron going to drive it deep down into 3. Little bit of contact off of turn 4. Gannett with a good run off the corner. But that's what every time there's been a restart, whoever's in second place has been losing that spot to the third place driver. So Gannett trying to break that trend this time. And look at that, they're stacked up 2 wide, 3, 4 deep behind them.
You know, it wasn't that long ago, Tagliani and Dumoulin were 7th and 8th place cars out, and they find themselves in 4th and 5th now, and that's the veteran migration to the front that we'd expect from former guys like this.
Alex Gannett doing his very best. You're absolutely right. They had speed in their cars. They just didn't have the track position. Marc-Antoine Cameron going to pick up that second position. Gannett going to close the door on Alex Tagliani. Tag's just giving him some help through 3 and 4.
A little bit of tag into 3 there as they all got nose to tail, and they all came out of it clean and smooth. LP Dumoulin, the one there licking his lips thinking, oh boys, give me an opportunity and I will take it. Once again, they're nose to tail through 3 and 4.
Cameron with the position, second spot, but they're not making it easy for him because they're playing all sorts of bumper tag through the ends. Now they've got a little bit of breathing room between them, Clint.
And now Tagliani all pushing the Gannett 3 in through 3 and 4. Gave him a good 2 or 3 bumps there and has pushed in the rear bumper cover on the 3. Tagliani is ready to move.
And clearly Tag is unhappy about something, right? Like that's repeated bumping, trying to work his way into that spot. So maybe we missed something on that last restart, but Tag had his feelings damaged.
Show me where it hurts, right here on the front bumper. Tagliani on the rear end of the Gannett 3 once again. But Marc-Antoine Cameron solidly in position number 2.
But that is one of the most important battles on the racetrack, because when you get to a restart, you would much rather be 3rd than 4th. I mean, a huge advantage to restart 3rd.
99 laps to go. And Trayton Lapsevich with a good margin out front over Marc-Antoine Cameron, Alex Gannett, Alex Tagliani. And then the battle we're seeing here between LP Dumoulin and Kevin Lacroix. Lacroix had him sideways off of 4.
Kevin Lacroix to the inside of LP Dumoulin. Remember, Dumoulin's car really sprung to life deep into that run, 40, 50 laps from the start of the race. So Kevin Lacroix obviously got some adjustments that he likes in that 74 machine, sees the top 4 drivers driving away, so he wants to get out ahead of the 47, see if he can't close some of that gap, because LP Dumoulin's unable to do so right now.
Donald Teague right there as well, trying to hold the 47 up on the top. If the 74 can clear, the 80 is going to stick his nose in there as well.
Out in front, Marc-Antoine Cameron is slowly closing the gap on Trayton Lapsevich. I mean, they're running very similar lap times, but Cameron is slightly faster in the 96 than the 20.
But part of me thinks that's Lapsevich being told to just roll.
Could be.
I mean, you still have a long way to go in this race, and you could easily use up your tires before this one is out. And if we heard what Todd Lewis told us there at the break, they are concerned about that right rear.
Look at Kevin Lacroix running the inside of LP Dumoulin. The tables were turned before the break. Dumoulin was on the high side. Or Dumoulin was on the low side. Lacroix was on the high side. What were you showing me there, Clint?
Our lap counter stuck on 99 here on our stream. So we're showing 163 complete.
See, you've been blocking me from the screen this whole day, so I don't even know what's
See, I
on
threw
the
that up
screen.
for you to do the math. 163. How many laps we got left?
We've got 37 plus 50. We got 87 laps.
Well done.
No more math, please. Trayton Lapsevich out in front, but the advantage is 1 second over Cameron. And again, oh, trouble in turn 4. Daniel Bois goes around in the 31 machine.
And he pulls right up across the nose of Marc-Antoine Cameron.
That's a savvy move. You have to. You've got to keep that car rolling as it is. He's lost an additional lap, but if he waited, it's only going to get worse behind them.
Yep, for sure.
So, this is a break for Malcolm Strawn. The 11th place driver in the Curb Records number 98, Malcolm Strawn, going to get the free pass. So we'll be up to 11 cars on the lead lap. And then it's going to be a matter of how many yellows is there going to be, because 2 laps down, never a good position to be in. But if we have another yellow, somebody gets to go to 1 lap down, then they're the only driver 1 lap down, Clint. So on the stream, let's take a quick break and we'll be back to talk some more racing here at Sunset Speedway. More surgery being performed on the Glenn Stiers number 0.
He'll be happy because they got the blue duct tape out.
Oh boy.
Well, that's a good sign. We talked to you. We were pretty sure Glenn would try and complete some more laps and try and figure out. No secret about him trying to learn. He's, what we talked about was concussion symptoms earlier. He says it's speed therapy. That's how he's using to get fixed. Here's a look at home on what's gone on here. Oh, who was that? Truck, keep it rolling. Tough to see who that was. Give it to us again if you can.
I'm going to choose my seat in the booth better next time.
Yes, I have the screen.
We'll have another look here.
Ooh.
Wow.
Good work, truck. Now we got some homework to do up here.
Yeah, whose nose looks like that?
I wondered if it was the Collins car. But possibly not.
171 laps complete, so we're into the final 80 laps of this battle. Alex Tagliani, the front end of that NTN bearing, quick. Number 18 shows signs of wear, and as I mentioned after that restart, he was really hammering on the back end of Alex Gannett to the point where something Alex Gannett did must have upset Tagliani.
Well, he's got some time to calm down now. Got a lot of supporters here from his sponsors at NTN. I seen Dave Lloyd here from Quick today, so lots of emotional partners in the house here. And when you hear you do driver intros, you can really tell there's a lot of tag fans here today.
Oh, big time. You look over to the spotters area. Colin Livingston, the spotter for Alex Tagliani in the 18 machine.
So we're cleaning up debris down the front straightaway here. They've picked up about 4 or 5 pieces with the Sunset Speedway cleanup truck. And the McMaster Pace truck continues to pace around.
As much as I love the fiberglass bodies, and I do for all they bring to racing, nothing is more annoying than listening about aero pushes and someone getting touched by another car and say, our day is ruined. Come on.
These are darn near throwaway bodies. Like, they're almost putting a new body on these cars every race.
Some of the drivers are pretty, some of the teams are pretty frugal. Like, you talk to Larry Jackson, he can rescue anything.
I like that. See, that was a good pun. Firefighter rescue.
All right, yeah.
I'll give you that one.
Unintentional.
It's the unpun. You didn't even expect to do it.
Maybe I'm tired. What's the matter with me today?
I'm overtired. That's why I'm happy and in a good mood today.
I'm getting outwitted by Clint.
I'm just the punniest dad around, man. You can't beat that one.
There you go.
Drive my kids crazy.
Dad humor is fabulous.
Malcolm Strawn with the free pass once again. He'll get that spot once we go to the white flag situation. And Trayton Lapsevich has been the class of the field so far.
So every lap for about the last 10 green flag laps or so, Marc-Antoine Cameron was just a little bit faster than Trayton Lapsevich. You speculated might be a little bit of gamesmanship on the part of Trayton Lapsevich, you know, not wanting to show his full hand, not wanting to overuse that race car. But we're going to find out here on this restart as DJ Kennington is down in the pits in the Castrol Edge 17.
Dexter Stacy in as well in the recap. Recovery 92. A little bit of work on the right side of that machine.
These teams are so good. Short track racing is so interesting. You know, you got to beat the pace vehicle out of the pit, so you know you get down to your pit stall. You've got about 15 seconds to accomplish what you want to accomplish on the race car, and then it's got to be sent back out on track.
Wow, Sunset is not kind to noses on these Pinty's cars. You're looking at so many of them beat up. The one that caught me was Tagliani when he came by. It looks like, you know, the vicious sharks in the ocean where their face is all beat up and scarred. That's what I get. That's what I'm getting from the 18 nose here as he comes off of turn 4, taking some shark bites out of the nose of that one.
In my uneducated opinion, Clinton, they're all vicious. Like, I don't want to meet the friendly shark because I'm going to be...
Good point.
As you often say, I don't have to be the fastest. I just have to be faster
That's
than
right.
Adam. Trayton Lapsevich going to restart this one. He has led the entire way in that number 20 on the high side. It's Marc-Antoine Cameron. Does he have anything for the race leader?
Off to one they go. Lapsevich clean and smooth once again. Marc-Antoine Cameron trying to grab the second spot. Gannett sticking the nose in there. Not going to let him chop it down. They make contact, and Tagliani goes around in 4.
Tagliani going around off the bumper of somebody.
You thought he was mad before.
Doesn't look to be any significant damage to the 18 machine. As he'll close in on the tail end of the field. Didn't lose a lap in that.
I got a good look at that St. Hubert logo, and boy, some rotisserie chicken would be great right about now.
Isn't that funny what you see?
Yeah. So Tagliani got a little help in the back end from the LP Dumoulin, 74.
And Dumoulin was actually alongside the 18, so it wasn't...
With Lacroix on the outside,
Yeah.
so they were actually 3 wide.
And they've been battling like that for the whole race out there. Great job by the crew, great job by the truck.
Yeah, got a couple different angles there. And Tagliani all the way to the back here of this one.
So frustrating day for Brandon Watson in the number 9, but he will get the free pass. That'll put him 1 lap down. Malcolm Strawn in the 98. He's getting the memo, hey, you get to pass all these race cars. Pull up to the outside. All those cars are lap cars. You can pull all the way up behind. Boy, all the way up behind the 84 of Larry Jackson. Malcolm Strawn's going to be, if I knew these restarts were this fun, I would have tried to stay on the lead lap more. That's because you've just driven by, no disrespect to anyone on the track, you've just driven by a lot of riffraff, a lot of drivers whose cars aren't running as well as they'd like them to.
But when you're halfway up through the field and you weren't even signed in, like he was the to be announced on our roster, and we only found out about 4 o'clock.
Hey, that's a good day. Exciting for Malcolm Strawn.
Jim Bray keeping us guessing right to the very last second.
What a great supporter of racing, though, is Jim Bray.
Celebrate his 90th birthday this winter. He's been a NASCAR member longer than you and I have been alive.
By a lot.
By a lot. Actually, almost me plus you is Jim. Getting on it here. Once again, Trayton Lapsovich with the advantage. The two Quebecers going at it. Marc-Antoine Cameron and Alex Gannett with Lacroix and Dumoulin right there. And then Tige, the only guy from Ontario, is DJ Kennington.
Oh, wow. Lacroix with a bit of contact on Cameron. Cameron trying to get back to the inside, and he just got... That restart did not go the way of Cameron in the 96, and he is unhappy behind the wheel. Gives a big old shove to Kevin Lacroix in the 74.
Oh, he's not done yet?
Lacroix with some bumper damage, and he didn't come anywhere near closing the door. Kevin stayed way up high. Now he's going to come back down the racetrack.
Lapsovich, Gannett have gotten out front. Then it's Lacroix, Cameron with LP Dumoulin and Tige side by side behind them.
Big smoke show as Daniel Bois locked up the brakes down into turn number 1. He gathered that car back in. He'll resume where he was.
Gannett with the same margin behind him as he sees out front, trying to keep Trayton Lapsovich a little bit more honest, but the battle's still raging here between Marc-Antoine Cameron and the Kevin Lacroix Napa 74.
Yeah, Cameron's got a lot of speed in that 96, but Kevin Lacroix is going to make life miserable for him. Lacroix's been able to hold drivers off from up in that high line. Let's see how long Cameron's willing to play nicely in the 96 as he sees the leaders getting away.
Maybe not the shortest way, but still not too bad. But Cameron will get the position now in the 96. Lacroix rolls it back around the top, trying to make some advantage work on the outside.
So Cameron gets around Lacroix. Lacroix solidly in 4th. Donald Tige all by himself in 5th. And it's LP Dumoulin 6th in the 47. DJ Kennington 7th. And then Alex Tagliani, after that recent spin, trying to work his way back up to where he was.
We're looking at the Tagliani machine here on the screen. He tries to roll up through the field a little bit. Still has a fair way to go as he works on the inside of the Kennington 17. But just ahead of Kennington is the driver that he has marked on the dashboard. And we'll see if anything comes of that. Problems in 3. That Steyer's around again.
Glenn Steyer's around in turn number 2. Lots of smoke there as the leaders check up, head towards the outside.
Is he hung up on the grass there or something?
I don't think he's hung up, but he might be waiting for those leaders to go by. I'll tell you.
I just wonder what all the smoke was.
Tire smoke. Like he lit him up when he spun that thing around. I'll tell you, Brandon Watson's never been so happy for a yellow. The driver, the number 9, going to be back on the lead lap.
Not too often you have to see Brandon Watson use a lucky dog.
No, you're absolutely right.
So, closing in, 55 laps to go.
And now one of our junior flaggers down here just pointed the black flag at Brandon Watson, pointed the naughty stick. I wonder if he had anything to do with the creation of that yellow.
Huh?
The driver who needed one the worst.
I don't even know what to say. Highly plausible.
Yeah, exactly. One of the older tricks in the book.
Elliott, did he get him? He's too busy working on his flagging down there.
Yeah.
The 9 got him? All right. Junior official Elliott says the 9 got the 0. You better be right or you're going to lose your job. Take those flags right away. Great to see these youngsters out there looking for a career.
So
if Mike Charest just looks the wrong way, Elliott's
That's
up in
right.
that flagger, giving her.
So clearly, Elliott is the flagman of the future. That's who. Where are the announcers of the future, Clinton?
Right here, the Bun Sons sitting down in front.
There you go. All right. No, fair enough. Fair enough. Larry Jackson heading down into the pits to the attention of his crew. Now, they put some rounds into the left rear last time. They're going out with the long ratchet again into the left rear. It used to be easy when all they could adjust was wedge. You could tell what they were doing and what they wanted to affect on the car, but now you got wedge adjustments and track bar adjustments, so.
I heard a rumor about Larry's crew that only Howie is allowed to make adjustments. The only one allowed to touch the adjustment wrench.
Really? Yeah,
Oh, we're trying to have fun up here.
You're probably right.
So Brandon Watson is not the leader, as you know. He will get turned around to the back end of the field here as soon as we go with 1 lap to go. The lap counter says 199 now. That means a 5 and a 1. 51 laps still to go here in the NASCAR Pinty Series opener. Today's NTN Ultimate Bearing Experience 250 is brought to you by NTN BCA with a full line of bearings coverage for domestic and import applications, delivering premium quality, design, and bearing performance. Hopefully you're enjoying the NTN Bearings Ultimate Bearing Experience 250 live here at Sunset Speedway today.
So Brandon Watson just got that free pass. He's in the 12th position, and I say this, Clinton, because Brandon Watson, I don't believe, is going to finish 12th. So 50 laps from now, there might be a different story, because that car still looks great. Not much damage on it. He's taking care of it. But out in front, we got Trayton Lapsevich in the 20, the 3 of Alice Canet, and we're back underway.
Off to 1, the pack is tight once again, looking cleaner that time than they have the last few times. Still Cameron on the inside. Tej, and they all just jump like a pack of wolves going into turn 3 on the back 2.
Marc-Antoine Cameron right up on the back end of Trayton Lapsevich as they drive down into 1 and 2. This is as close as anybody has been to the 20 machine today. Look at Kevin Lacroix trying to thread the needle between Tej and Canet.
Whoa, Mac threw a big one there. Cameron took a huge shot, and he's throwing big points down to the inside quarter. Just avoided the 20 last time into 3. He's farther back now, but really hauling it in there.
Cameron trying to keep pace with Trayton Lapsevich. Alice Canet running in 3rd. So Lapsevich, if he's got another 1/10 of a second in that car, he's got to find it and use it out there in that 20 machine.
But remember what Todd told us, trying to save the right rear till it counts. He's been on there for a long time so far, trying to make sure they can keep the tires under this machine.
Guys, I can jump in and tell you again, too, that I spoke with Robin McCluskey. They think that 96 is just as fast as that 20 car. What they're concerned about is making sure that they rather have a long run to the end. Catching Trayton Lapsevich is going to be one thing. Passing him is going to be another, but they think they can match him in speed.
Whoa, trouble
Thanks,
in
Todd.
turn number 1. Thank you, Todd. That's Naveau in the 24 going around.
Car looks pretty good considering. Got way up there. Don't think he caught the wall.
And I mean, the drivers are racing as though we're in the last 50 laps of the race. Every battle matters. Every position matters.
Do you remember earlier I asked you if you thought they were going to run or just ride? Well, they're definitely running now.
There's not been much riding today, and a break for JP Bergeron, 2 laps down to the leaders, but he will get the free pass. Bergeron and Andrew Ranger both 2 laps down, and Bergeron's the one who gets the pass, so he will get the pass on the next yellow as well as the only driver 1 lap down, unless something happens that someone else gets knocked a lap down, Clinton.
The Naveau car looks all right. Fairly good
I would say so.
considering what happened.
Let's take another quick break, and we'll be right back from Sunset Speedway.
Welcome back to the NTN Ultimate Bearing Experience 250 from Sunset Speedway here. NTN is providing the industry's most comprehensive range of bearings and products available for all kinds of uses, whether it be domestic or imported. Check them out. NTN Ultimate Bearing Experience 250. But now, 40 to go.
40 to go. We were going to go back to green, but Thomas Naveau in the 24 has a problem off of turn number 2. That car has come up lame at the exit of the turn, so we'll send a push vehicle out.
Almost looked like he was trying to come in that backstretch entrance road, but didn't make it. Does he look like he's pointed that way?
It does.
Push truck right there. It shouldn't take much effort to get the 24 clear if he does take that access road.
Yeah, unless there's something wrong with the steering on the 24, so we'll find out pretty quickly.
What do you think, race fans? Are you happy to be back at the Speedway, and have you enjoyed your day so far? Love it. So he did not take the access road. He will just take the standard pit road here and get shoved in. 24 is clear. And with that, we will restack the deck and get ready to go.
Naveau headed down pit lane to the attention of the crew.
Oh, lights go out on the pace truck and the Whelen safety lights here around Sunset Speedway. Mike Charret starter holding up the one finger, ready to go. Off of turn 4, this is going to bring it back with 36 laps to go. And if you thought you saw some excitement already, get ready, because it is going to ratchet up a few more notches here as we get ready to finish the NTN Ultimate Bearing Experience 250. Adam Ross.
Coming to the green, Lapsevich down low, Cameron up high. That's about as good a restart as we've seen anybody on the high side. But Cameron gets a little squirrely through 1 and 2. That opens the door for Alex Gannett, who was on the inside to be able to pull even. Trayton Lapsevich loves seeing the battle. Alex Gannett, whoa, loves that he is cleared. Lacroix, what a save by Kevin Lacroix. Oh my goodness, he almost got turned. And it turns into an opportunity to battle for the 3rd spot.
Boys, the dirt race ain't for 3 more months, but they're backing it in there like a wingless sprint car. All kinds of damage on the Cameron 96 back bumper. Lacroix not done yet as Gannett and Lapsevich roll off.
Look at them race side by side. Cameron in 3rd, single file. Kevin Lacroix 4th, single file, but then they're doubled up from 5th all the way back to about 12th spot. Brandon Watson, who just got 2 laps back in the number 9, he's in the mix. Look at the cars that have been laps down today. Malcolm Strawn with a problem.
Yeah, something sparking heavily out of the left rear of the Strawn 98, or the right rear now.
Right front. I think he's got a right front tire going down.
With all this traffic now, he can't even get down onto the pit lane. Oh, Watson and Tagliani get together after Watson got into the 92 of Dexter Stacy. Now the nose is all punched in on that Tagliani 18, and he's going to have bigger problems than he ever had so far tonight.
I don't think Watson started that with the 18. There was somebody else involved, and Watson just came in.
It was
after
the 92.
The fact.
The 92 and the 18 got together, I'm pretty sure. Tagliani has no choice but to come down pit road with the nose all kicked in on that NTN 18.
So a lot of duct work up under there. And I'm not sure if that was what Tag should have done, is come straight to the pits, because he could go a lap down right now. Like, he needed to catch up to the field, wait till they're at caution speed to where he could come into the pits at a convenient time, because now he is 1 lap down.
Wow. And just that time, everybody got a little bit wilder. Yeah, so I think Dexter Stacy got the piece of Tagliani, got him loose.
Brandon got the tail end.
Truck, can we see that one again? Officials up here in the tower love to have a look at that one.
And while it looked like Brandon Watson, like you said, it's the 92 that kind of squeezed his nose in there. And I mean, aggressive racing towards the end. I think it's a racing deal, Clinton, but I'm not an official.
Guys, I can tell you, too, that they are going to push this 18 behind the wall. You can see the steam coming out from the radiator down here on pit lane. It's going to be an early exit for Alex Tagliani.
Yeah, thanks, Todd. We can see the lake of fluid there rolling back toward the pit wall. Tough break for Alex Tagliani. Big sponsor race here today. And a lot of the partners in the house. Not a great way to start his 2023 NASCAR Pinty Series season.
A lot of debris to pick up on the front straightaway. My goodness, look, it looks like a confetti party from turn 4 down towards the start-finish line.
We could see a red condition here, possibly, Adam, to get this cleaned up safely, because it is all over the front straightaway. Look at Watson's car. We just were talking about how clean it still was, but not so. Viewers at home are getting a look at Alex Tagliani as he exits the 18 car.
And frustrating to get 220 laps into a 250-lap race, have a competitive race car. The car was good. It wasn't phenomenal, but it was pretty good. And we are going to see a red flag here in turn number 3.
We're getting a report that the 20 of Trayton Lapsevich is getting warned about jumping these restarts.
Well, I'm going to ask a quick question and just confirm. The red lines on the inside of the front stretch wall, is that the restart zone? Okay, so they're there because sometimes we go places, Clinton, and there's markings on the track, but they're not for us.
Yeah, there's also cones on the fence, Adam, zip tied up high, a little bit tough for you to see from your vantage point here. So they have 2 visual markers, cones on the fence and red marks on the inside of the wall. So that's the start box where they can basically fire. And as we've always said at every race, the leader must take the start-finish line first.
The leader has all the advantages coming to a restart, but they still have to play within a certain set of rules. And the way NASCAR officiates a restart, Clinton, is there are multiple officials. One watches the front, one watches towards the back of the field, and then one's watching everything that goes on. But they all have very clear jobs and are looking for very clear things on these restarts to keep them even.
So we have gone red on the back stretch here so they can do a bit of cleanup work to pick up any debris we've got around the speedway to give us a nice clean finish here. It will be 27 laps to go when we go back to rolling off.
What a show it's been. I mean, Trayton Lapsevich has owned this race, but do you not get the feeling, Clinton, after the last couple of restarts, he's vulnerable?
Yeah, I was almost going to say a little while ago, if he doesn't win this race, it's almost criminal. But then you see Marc-Antoine Cameron and the push that they were pushing, Alex Gannett having a solid run as well. Yeah. But how many times have we seen drivers be the dominant car or lead until the last go-round? I mean, we saw it here last year with Rafael Lizardo and Marc-Antoine Cameron. They were the class of the field. Lapsevich was at best a third-place car. They wrecked off a 4, and he ends up the victor.
That's why you stay to the end, Clinton. That's what makes racing so much fun. Todd, what's going on down there?
Guys, let's get a word from Alex Tagliani, who's just climbed out of that 18 car. We were just talking, you were trying to be patient and have something at the end. Take me through what happened from your seat.
Yeah, so it's extremely disappointing for the team, for 22 Racing, all the guys, NTN, Quick, Saint-Hubert, Genetec, a lot of people from NTN here today, and once we got drilled by the 47, we were patient, like you're saying, try to make it all back, and we did. We did without really crashing into anybody, and then the 9 just drilled me going into 3. So you know, I forgive, but I don't forget.
Merci, Alex.
Great work, Todd. Thank you so much. I think Alex is going to look at that replay and realize that while there is a 9 on the car he's upset at, there's also a 2. But the feelings get hurt so quickly in this series because our season is so short, Clinton. There's only 14 races, so it's so tough to have to watch the end of one of these from the pits. Alex Tagliani has a hill to climb the rest of this season, and he's capable of climbing it, but not the way he wants to start.
You know, a couple seasons ago when we were breaking up these races through the pandemic into 125-lap races, they were kind of their own little short sprints, and we had talked about, you know, paybacks don't really get to come around. And in a race like this, there's a lot of time that if someone gets you, you're going to get a chance to get them back, vice versa. It's a long night out here. So Tagliani may be a little bit never happy that you're out, but this may be a good opportunity to be out and not take out the wrong car until you get to see the situation.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, mistaken identity has hurt racers many times in the history of this sport. They're having a heck of a time getting the Malcolm Straw 98 up in the air. The concern, Clinton, when you have a right front go down, all of those sparks are coming off the sway bar link on the right front. Quite often, you wear the nut off that, the sway bar comes off, and your day can be done. So they're having a good look, trying to get things sorted out, but he has gone laps down now to the field. Andrew Ranger pulling in that 27, where they're going to give some bare bond love to that GM Paillet machine. Malcolm Strong getting back on the track in the 98 machine. He's down in the 14th spot.
Andrew Ranger's crew taping up the nose. Man, that White Motorsports team of Steyrs and Ranger are going to need a Bear Bond sponsor for next week. They have used up all the handyman's friend they got.
I'm impressed they haven't run out.
They've gone to the chrome tape now because
we're not color coordinating
have to use
anymore.
the high heat because we've got nothing else.
22 laps to go when they take this restart. Trayton Lapsevich has been warned. They're watching his restarts in the number 20. Alex Gannett alongside in the 3. Here we go.
Gannett looked like he was going to take a run at the restart box. Backed out of it. That looked a bit cleaner that time. Now Lapsevich will nose up in front of the 3 and the 96. One more time off to turn 3. 96 pushing on the bumper.
Cameron drove it deep down into turn 3. Gannett, though, just as deep. They continue to race side by side. Trayton Lapsevich has to be looking in the mirror thinking, man, this is too close for comfort. Cameron clears the 3 of Alice Gannett.
Well, we heard Todd Lewis tell us that Robin McCluskey feels this 96 car is every bit as tough as the 20 is tonight, waiting for a longer run, and this is going to get much longer than this. 20 to go, it's time.
Cameron down into the corner, right to the back bumper of Trayton Lapsevich. No contact, but he closed right in. He looks to the inside in turn 1.
Oh, those are dangerous bonsai moves to the inside. One little slip up, and there's going to be an issue. And the 92 gets Watson around.
No. Oh, yeah, I thought it was the 92 that went around, but yeah, Watson goes around in the number 9 after playing with Dexter Stacy in the 92.
Now, do you think the 92 thinks the 9 got him too on that last one?
Possibly. Possibly. So the yellow flag flies. Who is in position? Wow.
Well, where's the 9 going now? Gonna go up and say hi to the 92 Dexter Stacy?
You might invite him to dinner.
Well, here we go.
Look at that. Now he's creeping. Now he's stalking his prey. No, it's savvy move. He's just pulling up to where he belongs behind the lead lap cars. He was mistaken by one. Bergeron's on the lead lap. But how about Brandon McFarlane in the 23 getting the free pass? He is 2 laps down. So Andrew Ranger, all the pit stops they've had to make, Andrew Ranger could be back on the lead lap by now, but problems he's had out there have put him in a wrong position, and Brandon McFarlane going to get the free pass. And I don't know that that's the last yellow flag we're going to see tonight. So McFarlane could find himself back on the lead lap.
I know it's opening night, but am I allowed another announcer cursed?
Oh, yeah, do it.
I was going to send a shout out to Josh Collins and Brandon McFarlane. They came to this deal knowing they were swimming upstream. If they can put it back in the box the way they are right now, it'll be a good, solid day for those gentlemen from the farthest east in this country.
Yeah, you shouldn't have said that.
I know. But you said I could. So I'm blaming it on you.
Yeah, fair enough.
Good to be back in the booth with you, though, Adam. We'll be here for almost all of the events. You will be. I'll be at most of them.
Yeah. Ah, it's a blast. We've had so much fun. Look at this. Alex Gannett pushing Trayton Lapsevich down into turn number 3. Cameron hanging back just a little bit. Back under green. 15 laps to go.
Now, Cameron was almost as fast as Lapsevich. Can he make the outside work or avoid that right front corner of the 3 of Gannett as they tighten it up into turn 3? Everybody all over the leader's back bumper.
Trayton Lapsevich out in front. They're double stacked, 2 wide behind him, 3, 4 rows deep. And they're not losing an awful lot of ground. Gannett battling with Cameron side by side, and Trayton Lapsevich is just not pulling away from the battle for second and third.
Well, now he gets about a 2-car length lead, and that'll be a little bit of insurance as this one wraps down closer to 10. We got 12 on the board right now to go.
Lapsevich out in front. Gannett runs second. Look at Kevin Lacroix working the outside in that 4th position. He has cleared Donald Teach. So can Kevin Lacroix close in that outside lane, an unorthodox line by the driver from St. Eustache, but I never count him out.
Been hanging around the top 5 most of the day here. 10 laps to go, 240 out of 250 in the NTN Ultimate Bearing Experience. 10 laps to go.
Wow, Josh Collins just got all sorts of sideways there in 1 and 2, and now Marc-Antoine Cameron putting the pressure on Gannett. Little bumper play going between 3 and 4, and oh.
There it is.
No, that could have been awful. That could have taken the front end of the 56 car off. Instead, he just kissed the inside wall.
92 stopped here on the end of the front straightaway, gets rolling. Dexter Stacy pulls that recap recovery drink machine.
Dexter's been in the vicinity of a number of these issues recently.
Let's talk about his bad crash not too long ago, Adam, in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Yeah, he creamed the wall at Talladega, and I talked to him about it, and he said, you know, he said, I suffered a hit back in 2013 that was even worse. But he said he thinks it's because of the soft walls. He said if they did have soft walls, this would have been a bad one.
Glad we've got him here with us, competing hard tonight.
I don't think Dexter can get the free pass if he came to a complete stop on the front stretch. Might make him an involved car. He could have been trapped, so we'll see how this sorts out. Right now,
looks like Brandon McFarland is disputing that he should be the lead lap.
well, if Brandon McFarland's up there, he was probably told to be there. So.
Dexter's just gonna be there.
Yeah, they're having Dexter drop back behind the 9 machine, which would be the first car 1 lap down. Brandon McFarland in that 23, just by being out there, just by turning the laps, taking as much as that car would give him, McFarland going to be back on the lead lap.
Debris in turn number 2. Big piece of bodywork right on the bottom in the main lane there in turn number 2. So they will get that picked up.
I don't think this yellow's going to put us into overtime, Clinton, but it's going to be close. All the work done on these race cars, all the pretty that was put into them.
Who's clean?
Malcolm Strawn has a good-looking car in that 98.
Stackley looks pretty good, but he didn't run the whole race. Missed a few. Not too many out there spotless, the 20 so far.
I'll tell you, Donald, you know what? We got to stop this. Because
as soon as I said that, I'm like, oh, man.
They're all about to get crunched, but it's been impressive. You know, Kevin Lacroix, the 74, Donald Teague in the 80, LP Dumoulin the 47, DJ Kennedy the 17. Those cars are mostly clean, Clinton. Like, they've done a good job out there. They've raced hard, but they haven't put any of their pieces at risk. That all goes out the window because there's 3 laps to go as we take the green.
This announcer curse brought to you by Adam Ross. Here we go off of turn 4. Who's it going to be, the 20 or the 3? Less than 10 to go. Less than 5 to go. And they're bumping into 1.
Cameron is all over the back end of the 20. Look at Donald Teague to the inside. 3 wide, they battled for second.
Oh, Drayton Lapsevich has got to get the elbows up. Gannett on the outside, takes the lead away, and the 3's the new leader. Look at the back bumper punched in on the 20. He takes it down through the grass.
Now it's Lapsevich and Kevin Lacroix side by side with Alice Gannett out in front. The white flag will be out this time. 1 more lap to go for Alice Gannett.
Lapsevich is still there with Lacroix. You know he's going to put the bumper. He's putting it. Here they come down the back straightaway. Take us home, Adam.
1 more time for 3 and 4. Here goes Lapsevich, bonsai to the bottom. Holy moly, Drayton Lapsevich to the win.
What a win.
Alice Gannett second, Kevin Lacroix third. Holy moly, what a race. Drayton Lapsevich would not be denied, and if you're Alice Gannett, you can't be upset with that. I mean,
how about that Sunset Speedway 1 a year? Homegrown talent smokes them at the finish. Let's hear it for Drayton Lapsevich. Great story, Adam. The kid grew up here as a 10, 11, 12-year-old running mini stocks and has graduated to the top division here in the country and shows week in and week out why he is going to be a superstar in this division.
You know, Drayton Lapsevich, as we look at the replay, what great car control.
Alex Gannett was like, what just happened there?
What great car control by Drayton Lapsevich, Alex Gannett, Kevin Lacroix. All of these drivers were sideways. They did everything Clinton Jeffrey except lift off the throttle. As Drayton Lapsevich,
this is why the Pinty series is what it is. How often do you see them go 3 wide or 3 cars that can possibly win it without wrecking, and he makes the pass out of 4 and gets it done?
That's as good as short track racing gets.
And all 4 of those drivers should be happy, because in any other race they'd end up going home in a box here today.
And we do see some people running around in the infield, but I don't think there's going to be any damaged feelings. Well, there'll be some ruffled feelings, but Clinton, that was the most respectable, disrespectful racing I've seen in a long time.
Good call. Well, fans, did you like the finish of that? Make some noise for these guys. That was amazing. What a great crowd we've got here today. And here he comes around into victory lane. The car still looks pretty good, Adam.
Yeah, this side does.
Yeah.
Smart kid. He's marking it this way in victory lane. The other side of the race car is a little bit damaged, but Drayton Lapsevich going to pull down there in the 20 machine. Todd Lewis is on site, so we are going to throw it down to victory lane. He's going to climb out of that race car momentarily. What a show, Todd Lewis. It's all yours when the time comes.
Drayton Lapsevich has got the cap on and that unmistakable smile as he climbs out. And from he had 2 victories last year in the Pinty series. He's already got his first this year. Great car.
Man, I gotta say before anything, this one's Grandpa Zardo. I know. Wow, can't thank this 22 Racing team enough. You know, they gave me a great car all day. The Delta Bingo FBM number 20 car was just so fast. I wasn't losing that one. So.
Drayton Lapsevich is your winner here at Sunset Speedway.
Stay with them, Diener.
What a show we just witnessed, Clinton Jeffrey. That was, if you didn't enjoy that, buy a boat.
Good call. What an amazing race. It's been great calling it again here, and we'll be with you throughout the season.
This is the excitement you get here at Sunset. Come back next week for the APC series. If you're a fan of the Pinty series, head on over to CTMP. Heck, do both. One's on Saturday, one's on Sunday. But it has been a whale of a show on behalf of Todd Lewis, Trackside, Clinton Jeffrey, myself, Adam Ross. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time.